Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from: Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get kind of a quick energy check as far as what's going on with your person right now, thoughts and feelings that want to come through about you and the connection or anything else going on in their life. And then I will read the letter and then get some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through here in the first part or can serve as additional words and phrases for you from your person's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. So this is kind of giving the energy of being stuck at a crossroads. It can tie into a desire to reach out with communication if this would be a situation where reconciliation would be necessary. If you're at a distance from one another or not speaking with one another at this point in time, your person may be sort of feeling very drawn towards you, but it feels like also sort of stuck in a position of lack within themselves. Is it too little too late to sort of course correct the circumstances between the two of you? Do they have what it takes to move forth into something more prosperous with you in a long-term sense? So a lot of back and forth, it feels like, the head and the heart really undergoing sort of this wrestling match at this particular point in time. But there's a deep compulsion to create some sort of change, but there's almost the sense of, I know what I want to do, but I don't know what route to take in order to sort of accomplish that goal. If this is a situation where you're still in contact with your person, this can talk about kind of the buildup or the prelude to a deeper declaration of feelings, or maybe this is someone that you're friends with that would be needing to cross that threshold from friends into romance, and they might be kind of dancing around the idea of like, would this undermine our friendship if I were to speak on deeper feelings? Is this reciprocal? Do they feel the same way, or would I be setting myself up for rejection perhaps? This can also talk about if it's a romantic connection currently that's active between you. This can speak about like a discussion about sort of longer term plans, or an interest in conveying more deeply to you the way that they feel, but at the same point in time kind of being a bit hesitant. Like once they open a particular door in terms of declaration, or sort of shifting the way in which they've been dealing with you emotionally, it's almost like they're feeling that it would raise the bar or standard in some way in terms of what you might expect from them consistently going forward. And it might be that it's such a leap of faith for them, or such a bold effort, even if it's just talking more about their feelings, allowing themselves to sort of sit in that place, that there's hesitation within themselves, like not wanting to disappoint you, almost that it would become some sort of mask that they would have to then wear, like a standard that they would hold themselves to consistently kind of move at that more open and honest and kind of vulnerable place within themselves, which it feels like is new territory. It's something that they are compelled toward, but then there's also the sense of not wanting to like get your hopes up that is the way that they would be at all times, because it might be something that is kind of new for them. It might be something that they're not exactly comfortable with, or it's just contrary to their nature. This can be the energy of somebody who's kind of introspective, quiet, and yet needing or desiring to sort of convey more emotionally speaking, but then it kind of acts in contrast to sort of their inherent nature, and a fear that like, if I present in a certain sort of way, is this going to shift your expectation of, kind of who I am, or how I would always be sort of showing up, which they may be sort of considering, would that then be detrimental to what we've established with one another already up to this point in time, if I can't consistently match that, if I retreat deeply within myself again, or if it's something that, maybe being triggered by such vulnerability, that could cause almost like a withdrawal of their energy, and fears that that might sort of let you down, break your heart in some sort of way, which it feels like they are wanting to avoid kind of at all costs. So sort of a back and forth as far as how much is too much for them, for you, in order to kind of make it clear that there is an interest in moving things forward. There are deeper feelings than you are aware of, or than they presented up to this point in time. But it's almost something that it feels like there's a desire to express more, to open the doors wider to your connection with one another, or again, sort of come back in to connection with one another if you're at a distance. But then there's a sense of sort of, that might not always be the case of how they can show up, based on kind of themselves as a human being with their own emotions, their own sort of wounds that they are working through, or just a natural disposition. And so all of that is kind of being factored in at this point in time, as they're kind of at this place of wanting to pour more towards you and this situation, but also sort of honoring the inherent nature of who they are. So let's see what they want you to know right now from their higher self. Something has risen inside of me since the moment I chose to believe in this enigmatic bond between us. I speak to you often from the inside, and you help me to remember what it means to truly be alive. The outside world is luminous now in a way I always wished it could be before, and I visit each new day with hope, which helps me keep my feet firmly planted above the quicksand memories which used to drag me down. I feel strong and brave, even when I am frightened and vulnerable, with only myself and my shadow to light the way. And I know that somewhere out there, whether we are near or far, you are seeking the same level of acceptance of the past and surrender to the serenity that now has to offer in 1,000 beautiful ways, if only I will allow myself to receive and be cradled by the simplicity and the vast possibilities the present moment and the dawning future have to offer. I am taking better care of myself, and that includes feeling the full range of my feelings, knowing this too shall pass, and I try my best to kick away the faces that try to haunt me, and to pull closer to the warmth of joy that outnumbers my demons. You are cherished and everything I want and need forever. So let's see what else your person wants you to know right now from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I love spending time with you. I have a surprise for you. You always know what to say to make me feel better. I know we belong together. I don't want anyone else but you. You inspire me to do better. You mean the world to me. I can't wait to have you in my arms again. And my intentions are good and pure. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got G, S, C, Y, Z, X, U, C, N, O, I, B, and J. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you would like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn, where I do channeled message readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. And there's a link to that channel in the description box of the video also. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. Chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start by pulling some tarot to do a quick little energy check-in as far as what's going on with your person, thoughts and feelings about you and the connection, or other things that might be going on in their life right now. And then I will read the letter and then get into some standalone message cards that can reinforce what comes through here in the first part, or can serve as additional words and phrases for you from their higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels like your person is focused at this point in time on building something financially for themselves, or maybe restructuring ways in which they make a living, investing more in like long-term future plans, or even kind of bringing long-term dreams that they've kind of had on the back burner, making that more of a priority at this point in time. And it feels that in the midst of that, working long hours or just having a lot on their plate, that thoughts of you, your energy, even if you've not been speaking to one another, you've been in like a no contact situation. It's almost like in the midst of kind of busy work, or a lot that is sort of keeping them very focused on the here and now. They're feeling your energy. It's opened something within them energetically or emotionally, to where they're starting to almost get aha moments, deeper realizations and understandings, that kind of as they are making their way in the world, building their fortune, restructuring that in some sort of way, that you are the person that they want to stand by their side, to kind of walk with them towards the future. This may be something where they're building either kind of self-esteem within themselves. This doesn't necessarily need to relate to money, but it can also be kind of their sense of self-worth. They might be working on that at this particular point in time, sort of a journey of self-love that they may have crossed sort of a threshold of, and are now able to kind of receive you in a different way. They're able to feel the importance of you, or congruence between the two of you in ways that might not have been so obvious to them before. Or again, sort of the sense of, as I'm building a better me, I feel more aligned with kind of the idea of a future potential between the two of us, reconciliation perhaps if you're at a distance from one another, or even just a growing closeness between the two of you. A sense of them really consciously and acutely understanding that the more they invest in themselves, dreams, desires, and goals that they have, the more they are able to kind of pour a confident, healthier, well-rounded version of themselves into the connection with you. This can speak also of the energies of somebody who has a tendency to people please or kind of lose themselves within connections, and so they may be kind of working to curb that habit, to sort of find a way beyond that within themselves, to understand this component or even accept this component within, kind of symptomatic of being a giver, not necessarily a sign of weakness, but a sign of, a love language of theirs is to, try and kind of create peace and harmony through sort of, efforts toward consistency, or towards congruence, toward making their romantic partner feel very validated and appreciated. And that might in the past have sort of involved tempering down or watering down rough, parts of themselves, smoothing out rough edges in the interest of trying to sort of make connections work or make connections fit. And it feels like something that they're honoring sort of the inherent goodness of this, the well-intentioned motivation behind that, but then also understanding that it sort of deprives them of the ability to feel very authentic within romantic connections, to have that sort of freedom to be themselves, flaws and all. This may be something where this could also be very uncomfortable for this person, receiving praise, receiving kind of reciprocity of love in a way, and so it's easier for them to sort of pour themselves into another person rather than allowing themselves to be very much kind of cherished and appreciated for who they are. So this may even be work to kind of love themselves more deeply in the sense of understanding that praise that they give to others is also entitled to them as well, that it's okay for them to be celebrated. If it has to do with sort of material things that they are working on, that feels to correlate to, again, some element of self-esteem, or something long-term that they've had in the works, they've been planning, they've been thinking about, and it's very much whether this is sort of an emotional work or something in a mundane sense. In the midst of all of that is your energy circulating amongst this as a motivation, as a companion, almost like a co-worker, energetically speaking, while they are kind of in the midst of busy work, or even sort of touching upon triggers if this is having to do with kind of emotional things, working to kind of generate healthy self-esteem independent of sort of worth and value determined within connections. There's a sense of being motivated to kind of better themselves in order to provide better to the connection and to you, but then also feeling very celebrated, even kind of silently, energetically, subconsciously, by the essence of you, for them being brave enough or determined enough to kind of make whatever changes these are, whatever uphill climb or sort of a long haul progression that they are working on at this point in time. They feel that it very much serves them, but then also serves kind of what their hopes for the future are in the situation. So let's see what this letter says. I am sending you signs in the hopes that together we can continue to navigate in tandem this liminal space between where we have been before, separately and together, because I believe there is a love like no other which waits for our convergence beyond this period of metamorphosis we have each needed to endure. I feel less lonely knowing that out there in the world you breathe and are a gateway to a deeper understanding for me and the lengths love must go to sometimes to shed all that inhibits and restricts, outside and in, so that a purer vibration can begin to pulse, all in the name of it. I lost myself for a little while, which has been a humbling experience, to count all the years I wasted chasing the wrong thing. But that stumbling block led me to a place where I had no choice but to crawl until I could kneel, and finally believed in myself enough again that I chose to stand. And that is the precise moment I was given the gift of sight from on high, so that I could witness you. You have kept me afloat during so many points of apathy and despair, and I see now the signature of your light outshining all others that has always beckoned me to hold on and to try again. Long before I knew your name, I knew I loved only you. To be in this place of awe where the truth of why so many wounds needed to pierce my sides is a thing of gratitude. My suffering can finally be shed, because you are the antithesis of all of these things. So let's see what other messages your person has for you at this time. And they say, you are my heaven on earth. I have a surprise for you. You give me butterflies. Meeting you was the best thing that ever happened to me. No one compares to you. You have the most beautiful soul. I have never felt this way before. Can we take things slow? I'm guarded. And I have so much to tell you. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. C, K, X, T, M, E, O, D, E, Y, U, W, J, L, U, M, O, B, S, and V. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you would like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channel letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn, where I do channeled message readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. And there is a link to that channel in the description box of the video also. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. chose this letter, which I'll read in just a minute. I'm going to start by pulling a few tarot cards and using those to do a quick energy check-in to see what's going on with your person as far as thoughts and feelings about you and the connection at this time, or anything else that might be going on in their life right now that wants to come through. And then I'll read the letter, and then I will pull some message cards that can either reinforce what comes through here in the first section or can serve as additional words and phrases for you from their higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups, Death, and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is giving the energy that your person at this point in time is focused on how profoundly you have changed their ideas about the way love could be. It feels that you have fulfilled a lot of long-term hopes, goals, dreams, desires they have for sort of an elusive energy of like a true love, a deep love, a soul connection, spiritual love that they almost had kind of wandered the earth seeking to find to no avail, and that you have helped to kind of resurrect the idea and belief within them that having these desires was not sort of foolish on their part. Their search, their efforts, to find that kind of mistakes that they made, lessons that needed to be learned, all of that served a greater purpose because now they have intersected with you, and you have helped to really validate for them and verify for them almost that true love is real, it does exist, and it is something that they get to enjoy for themselves in this lifetime through the connection with you, through developing things further. This can even be the energy of someone that you've been at a distance with, estranged from, who has come to this revelation within themselves that you are all that they could ever want or need. And it feels that it has taken some stumbling blocks, some periods of time where investing themselves in the wrong direction did not pan out, having to pick up their pieces multiple times, or maybe a significant time that could have been very much shattering to them at a core level. But you have really helped them to understand that there is the ability for rebirth, that even if you've had your ups and downs with one another, if again it's like a connection where you're at a distance from each other, or even if you're in communication now, but there have been periods of time of back and forth, that they've reached kind of a mile marker within themselves that it feels like is helping to cement within themselves the understanding that it's important to sort of rise above pessimism. It's important to rise above the expectation that things maybe fall apart, or good things don't last, or wish fulfillment in emotional ways is too good to be true. You are living proof that there are miracles as far as love is concerned, and that miracle has their name on it. This situation between the two of you, it's for the both of you. And it feels that this is very healing for this person. This is something which is inspiring them to continue to press forward beyond kind of whatever stands between the two of you at this point, whether it's distance, needing to kind of reach out for reconciliation, or even just a commitment within themselves to sort of weather whatever storms life may have to throw at the two of you. That they want you by their side. They want to be that person that is there by your side through the good times and bad, through thick and thin, very motivated to make you feel seen, cherished, and appreciated, not just for who you are, but for the gift that you represent to them in their life, kind of arriving right at the moment that they have needed you, right at the moment that they might have almost been on the brink of kind of giving up hope in love, kind of closing themselves off maybe to relationships, and then there was you. Then all of a sudden it brings it back online in a way that it feels like has created profound change change for the better within them. So they may be planning some kind of effort to reach out towards you. Again, if there's a distance or like a no contact situation, or if you're interacting with one another, or you're in kind of a relationship with one another, in whatever way that is defined for you at this point, this speaks to consistency. It speaks to, you know, bringing more to the table, offering more, giving more of themselves, being more open to sort of be that shoulder for you to cry on, maybe when you need that. Action steps to sort of prove that they are invested in you, in this connection, in the two of you building towards something more lasting and more enduring with one another than has been the case in the connection up to this point in time, and it feels like also has been the case in their life overall. So let's see what this letter says. I look forward to the day when we can hold each other close and never question if something good will last. Thank you for being patient with me as I dismantle the last vestiges of the mistrust of love, which has made me remote as a captive within myself. I see you move through the world in all of your glorious forms, and you never cease to amaze me at how you reinvent yourself again and again. You inspire me to take a chance at allowing myself to lean into my whims and the eccentricities I used to try to keep hidden for fear of rejection and judgment. I am no longer fascinated by brooding over my life lessons. I am ready to make new memories with you. I know we have cascaded into one another's lives at the precise moment we were meant to, and that although we have all the time in the world in the grand cosmic sense, that the hour is getting late for both of us. I don't want to waste even a single second depriving myself of the nectar of your love, and I have so much inside of me that has been ripe and waiting for you, the one who is worthy to receive me just as I understand it is my blessing in this life to be nourished by the light of love that you are to me. The door to my past is closed, and all ties to those times and that version of myself are abolished. I choose you. I choose us, now and forever. So let's see what else your person wants you to know right now from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I can't get you off my mind. I am ready to commit. You feel like home to me. I am trying to impress you. You give me butterflies. We are destined to be together. No one compares to you. I love to flirt with you. And can we take things slow? I'm guarded. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got P, T, P, A, I, Q, T, R, X, C, K, H, V, A, I, E, S, N, D, Y, B, and H. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn, where I do channeled message readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. And there's a link to that channel in the description box of the video also. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.